Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Volume 8 of the DC Current. I am your host, Damon Caskey. It is 2015-09-22 on an absolutely lovely Tuesday evening here in the Hamburg Pavilion. Thought I'd just pop off a quick recording while I was waiting on an order to be filled. And as the title and title card I'm going to slap on this implies, yes, I'd like to speak about God's guns and a complete lack of guts. Oh, and incidentally, the volume disparity that I keep speaking about, how we jumped from Volume 3 all the way up to Volume 7, I'm going to kick that can on further down the road, and we'll speak about that maybe in the next edition. We'll see. We'll get to it sooner or later. Anyway, now, this was first brought to my attention by Miss Nellie Crouch, and I'm more or less elaborating on what she had to say, because I think it applies not just to the specific event that she pointed out, which we'll get to, but also to the Kim Davis fiasco and pretty much any political or personally charged debate in general. So, now, given today's cycle, this is way old news, but in the odd case that you weren't aware, country hitmaker Tim McGraw recently headlined a benefit concert for the victims of Sandy Hook. Now, due to affiliation with some anti-gun violence initiatives, the event was immediately harpooned by the National Rifle Association, various conservative groups, and sadly, a cache of individuals empowered with social media. Pretty much exactly what I'm doing right now. Be a little hypocritical here. But now, Mr. McGraw has been labeled a range of unpleasant appellations, ranging from not country all the way up to treasonous, as in he needs to be hung for treason against the country for performing at a concert, a benefit concert, mind you. Now, before going any further, I'm going to point out real quick that personally, I am a staunch defender of gun rights. I was raised in can't even talk today. I was raised in the Bucolic Hills of eastern Kentucky. My family owns a sporting business. I have a concealed carry deadly weapons license, and I'm always armed. In fact, within arm's reach is a Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 380 with full laser sighting. And on top of that, no, I don't have any tolerance, patience, or anything else for government intervention in my personal life. And I'll also be the first to admit it's a little conspiracy-minded, but I do believe that a lot of agendas out there like to make use of tragedies as an opportunity to push their opinion on people. And that's disgusting, if you ask me, because it marginalizes the victims. Now, all that said, in theory, you'd think I'd be on the bandwagon and downing Mr. McGraw, bashing him, but I'm not. In fact, I'm not here to defend or disparage his actions at all. The truth is, I'm not in any position to judge either way. I simply do not know all the facts, and even if I did, well, obviously, given the things I just told you, I'd be severely biased. And that's my entire point, because whether you want to believe it or not, the same is true for you. And there lies the question I want to ask, which doesn't have anything directly to do with Mr. McGraw other than the oft-heard slogan of those attacking him, but I still think it applies. God's guns, guts, America! That's what made us. Let's keep all three, right? You've seen the license plates, you've seen the flags, and you've seen the slogan or heard the slogan rattled off. But here's the thing. Statistically, we've got plenty of God and guns, and believe me, I've no problem with either one. But where are the guts? Now, what happened to the quiet confidence that comes with living one's life and letting other people live theirs? Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to get into one of those things were better in the old days, okay? Because being polarized as a nation is nothing new. I can name 8 monuments to the Civil War within 30 kilometers of this position. But when did we become so divided on a local scale? Who threatens to, and actually makes good on, ending long life friendships over whether or not someone none of us ever, or probably ever will meet, should sing on a stage hundreds of miles away? Personally, I would contend that, and yes, I know I'm kind of attacking an easy target here, but it's true, that social networking, it's an extremely powerful and positive tool, but it's allowing us to become victims of cowardice due to any real consequence or empathy. I mean, think about it. It's now considered weird or invasive to make phone calls to an old friend. Relationships get ended through soulless text without so much as a goodbye. Interpersonal contact is coming to be thought of as a waste of time and resources for all but the very most inner circles. And most of all, friendships have been devalued to something akin to stamp collections. And as a side effect of that, it's almost like we've made a perverse badge of honor to willingly dispense with lifelong real friends over an online disparity. Now, this is just my opinion, but I find myself asking, where's the courage, the guts, the guts in any of this behavior? Where's the bravery in standing behind a fence with signs while screaming at the other side? What kind of mental fortitude did it take to defend or dare others to do likewise over some political issue that frankly has no effect on anyone's lives? To dare a friend to unfriend you or to knock them off? I mean, really, where's the strength in that? Look, you want to show how tough you are? How about looking somebody in the eye and facing them when you don't possess total control of the situation? Perhaps talk in person or on a phone where you actually have to listen to their reply and not at your own provincial convenience. How about facing the reality that you are affecting the feelings of a real live human being and not just a collection of emoticons and letters? Try sitting down and politely discussing differences with a friend, and in doing so, risking the unfathomable concept that you just might be wrong. Or that you can actually be friends with differing opinions. Perish the thought, right? In short, and again this is just my opinion, guts are not about gung-hoing your way to a lonely victory. They're about grim determination in the face of real adversity. Real adversity like homelessness, poverty, providing for your children. Before I get off on a list tangent here, true real adversity, okay? Not our silly first world problems. Okay, guts are about standing up for what you believe with dignity, with class, and an open mind. They're about acknowledging the limits of your own perception. To actually have the courage, the guts, to give up control and truly discuss topics without the armor of raised voices, empty platitudes, or miles of distance and a screen between you, So, my question that I'll close with, do you have the guts? Then I'd say to everybody out there, hey, let's talk. Just talk. Give it a try. And by the way, if anyone out there does want to have a civil debate with me, by all means, use my contact points and I'll be more than happy to civilly discuss any issue you'd like to bring up. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time. This is Damon Caskey, signing out for the DC Current.